So, last time you have sent me a good summary. You have to think in a different way. What is that thinking? I have started thinking like a baby boomers. So, this is, and you have a golden years of self-discovery. Golden years. You are in your age living golden years of self-discovery. Why? Finding the lasting peace and happiness within, and it is happening. It is happening. Until last year, a moment of anxiety and issues and reactions, but now every time you attend the session and share your experiences, that you are contented, you are calm, you are peace. That is the perfect time to rediscover our inner wisdom. Let us take few points that you summarized last week. You wrote, our minds lead us easily because of its nature to suffering and misery. Its inherent character, yes. I have to recognize the inherent character of the mind to live in ignorance, become impulsive. By default, it is emotional, and then what it perceives by the senses may not be true. No, it's not true. But why it is not true? Because of ignorance, impulsive nature. That is what you wrote. So that knowledge has entered into your mind. So then you said, because of its impulsive nature, it is wandering outside instead of traveling inside. That is very important point. Very important. You wake up in the morning and just, even with eyes open or closed, just become aware of the mind. Mind, where are you moving? Are you traveling inside or are you wandering inside? I have to maintain that awareness, and that is why we had many Shanti mantras. Our masters recommend to do it in the morning so that the mind could consciously travel inside. Sarvesham swastir bhavatu. May there be happiness for all. Sarvesham shantir bhavatu. May there be peace for all. Sarvesham purnam bhavatu. May there be completeness for all. Sarvesham mangalam bhavatu. May there be auspiciousness for all. So what happens? The moment you wake up, you are in a waking state. Let your mind be filled with any Shanti mantra, even moving from ignorance to wisdom, moving from false to real, moving from death to immortality. Why? Because the mind is always identifies with the body. Crazy mind, ignorant mind. But the awakened mind identifies with the real self, so death to the immortality. That is why you rightly said, it starts wandering. It identifies with lot of stuff outside and then it causes the problem. So then you wrote it, another point that is also very important, that we have to start an inquiry to find our way out of millions of impressions created by the mind during a lifetime. Yes. Les, you just think of millions of impressions. This guy is good, this guy is bad, this is good, this good food, bad food. long list in our relationships, situations, outside. So the mind keeps the impressions of these events, and then the mind digs into itself and brings on the surface. Have you seen our cows and buffaloes? If you see them, 99% they keep on eating grass. They are just grazing all the time. And then you see them that they sit down and bring the food into their mouth, they chew it, and then they again put it inside. That is our nature of the mind. But if the knowledge is not put there, then we create what we create in attachment. Rightly said. I'm just explaining that point is very important. Then we know the same like buffaloes and the cows. We dig deep inside when we are sitting alone. Oh, that guy, this guy. Come on, mind. Hold on. It is your life, not this guy or that guy. This guy or that guy. One woman who has also been attending my sessions weekly, regularly, she is of my age. She is 67 years old. So her mind dug deep inside, and she had a thought, I'm lonely. Her kids are very well settled, and they are also my students. So, from nowhere, she had a thought that I lived my life in a lot of stress and taking care of my kids, and now my kids are fully grown, and because I never had a romance. Our mind. This is a real story. And so so now you see that the real story. She went to a restaurant, she find a guy, and they started dating. And, oh, very good. Everything is possible. What's the problem? In US, we say, "What's the problem?" No, there is no problem in dating and romance. But the problem is, I have to check my physical level. I have to check my hormonal level. But within a week, she wrote to me that now I'm in a romantic relationship, and after a week, she said that that was my fault, and I have closed that chapter. So, now, why I said so? Now you see that when we are 15 and 16, there are extreme hormonal changes done by the nature which push me to a kind of sensuality, attachment, to have a relationship. Now I lived my life until 30 or 40 years. After 40 years, the destructive process starts. Hormonal changes in the body begins. I'm not against anything. But now I am 60. So I am forcing my body to live the same life of sensuality. And it will cause lot of challenges at the physical level, mental and the emotional level. Rather than I should, even in relationship, I should find the peace and happiness within me. That should be the right approach. So anyhow, because she realized, she said, you talked to me many a times. This is craziness. I said, who made you crazy? You yourself. Because the mind kept on wandering. And mind can wander anywhere, at any age, in any situation. So that is why your master says, moving from ignorance to the wisdom. Then you wrote, in order to recognize the true peace and happiness all the time, the mind has to become our helper. not our master. Remember, this has happened to this woman, that the mind became the master, and master said, okay, go. Very good. Uh, so when she met me, I said, does the old lion who have at least 10, 15 kids, they also have a romantic relationship? No. But I'm not old. No, no, no. I'm not saying that you are old, but after a certain age, don't label it as old. Your childhood body has a different responses. Your adulthood body has a different response. Your youth body has a different response. As you are aging, we should care more of healthy aging and what are the factors responsible. She got it anyhow. So traveling mind is focused and is based on inner reality, inner entity. That is the very important point. So do you think that I don't have those thoughts? Those thought also pops up in my mind. But then I laugh at the mind. Mind, it's enough is enough. Now move ahead. Move ahead. Your journey is to continue to live into that state and find out different ways of expression to help others to live into the same state. So that boosts my energy and it inspires me. To tell you, one woman, I will talk in detail, but another woman, she said with gratitude. But now I said I will pick up that topic, gratitude. You are listening to me. Am I great? Should I be grateful to you? Answer is yes. But why? I am teaching you. Why? The answer to the why is that you are giving me an opportunity to express that wisdom in a coherent and integrated manner. One, you have an intense aspiration to bring about a transformation into your life, so I should be grateful. So should I express that? No need, but you just live into that state of a gratefulness. Gratefulness means, oh, I recognized. What I recognized? I'm speaking to you, I'm teaching you, you are appreciating me? No. If the internet is not available, how can I say? So I have to be grateful to that. What about my larynx? What about my lungs? They are using to express. So there are many hidden factors in our life of which we are not grateful, and that causes lot of challenges in our daily life. So why? The moment I'm grateful, I am dissolving that apparent personality which owns everything. I did this. I did this. Son, I help you. Anyhow, we will talk in detail about that. Being grateful, that is a great principle explained beautifully in we say medical report. We don't say medical complaint. Doctor, why you are complaining? No, this is a medical report. So we are grateful to the doctor who has given me the report. Oh, here are these problems. You have to be careful. We don't say, doctor, why you are complaining? This is a full of medical complaint, 5 pages. Blood complaint and hemoglobin. do, do you realize that? So, when the mind is given the input of knowledge and the wisdom, the mind starts perceiving in a right manner. That is the approach. Eastern wisdom says that is the approach of rediscovering my inner wisdom so that I can embrace my real nature. Now, understand, what do you mean by rediscovering? Oh, I'm sorry, I was at a fault. I should not have I should not have said you. We feel many a times like this women who felt, oh, I'm done with it. You have told me many a times. I reminded myself and then I realized what I'm doing. Like she is independent. She owns her house. She gets a lot of social security. She is contributing to one son out of the three sons. One son is little weaker on the side of financial, and everything is good. And now I am introducing a stranger in my life. No, I should have a relationship with a lot of people. There is no problem. Relationship minus attachment. But anyhow, the rediscovering the word rediscover acknowledges the life experience. We have accumulated a wealth of knowledge at this age, wisdom. I have become much older than my physical age. But I love it, I love it. Another 70-year-old woman who had been my senior in India in my federal job, and she was in Canada, so she connected me through WhatsApp. And then she looked at me and she said, "You look so too old." She even recognizes she is 6 years older than me. I said, "Very good. I look old. I want to remain old. I'm born old." No, no, no. You should color your beard and hairs. You should look younger. I said, "My dear friend, whenever you go and meet any of your friend, and the moment you start talking about your grandchildren, they already know your age. You may color your hairs, and you can remove the eye bags. It doesn't make any difference. But one thing is there, you should look presentable. You should look clean." So am I not looking clean? She said, "Yes, yes, that is okay." So we carry forward many impressions and we start living with these impressions. So now the time has come to check it, understand it, so that the mind stops wandering and mind starts traveling gracefully. What does that means? That simply means at this age we should return to the state of authenticity, the truth. That is what rediscovering word applies to all of us. I had an attachment with that and I was frustrated. I reacted to someone. No, now the time has come to live with that authenticity. Let me drop all these issues consciously by understanding. That is the meaning asatoma satgamaya, moving from ignorance to wisdom. So when I said rediscovering inner wisdom, I use the word inner wisdom. In many areas, we both and everyone has a sense of maturity. What is that mental maturity? That is a mental maturity. What is that mental maturity? The mind is not wandering. But again, ask yourself where the mind is wandering. Mind is wandering like this. Women, I told you the story of two women. Mind is not. I should keep everything presentable, clean, and okay. But I should not be obsessed with that. I should not dig deep inside my past impression and I want to relive with those past impressions. That is going to create a problem. So I already have a sense of mental maturity. With that mental maturity, I should find out now what is the goal of my life. The goal of my life is to live into that state of permanent peace, happiness, love, truth, and wisdom, not to allow the mind to get distracted and start wandering on those issues which has no value in my life. It might have happened many years ago, then what? That is the meaning of embracing the real you. Means wandering mind always jumps to the false you. The Eastern wisdom knowledge practices it helps you to embrace the real you. So our focus should be to embrace the real you and the mind will naturally stop wandering. I also use the word this is the golden years of self-discovery. These are the golden years of the self-discovery. Finding the lasting peace and happiness within. You are independent. Situation outside should not affect and impact you. That is why it is a golden years. I'm not doing any job, and that is why I chose to be a freelancer. I told you that I became much older than you at this physical age. I said, no, 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 I will do it myself. It will take some time, but I will settle myself. The golden years. So when I'm using the word golden years aging in a positive light, acknowledging the value and potential of this stage in the life. Potential is huge. Why? Let me check throughout the day when I wake up until I sleep at night. I have no moment of anxiety, reaction, duality, conflict. I'm independent. No movement. I'm living in golden years. Think of it. Contemplate and reflect. Oh, I was upset. What made me upset? Oh, mind was wandering outside. Bring it back. Finished. Golden years of the self-discovery. It is very important at this age. Even I tell people after the age of 50, you have to divide your time. You have to spend more and more time contemplating those, and you have to make these years, golden years of self-discovery. Whether you are still doing the job or you are living in a relationship, outer situation doesn't matter. But if you pay more and more attention that at this age I should be in peace and happiness and joy, I should delete the anxiety, the moment of guilt and reactions from my life, what is going to happen? It is going to add more lifespan. Lifespan. Because the body needs a mental maturity. Body needs the mental peace and the calmness. in our 20s, and anyone in their 20s, hormonal changes are at peak. It is at a hyper level. So you can endure even the great pain. So the masters are talking about I have to unveil this real self. Then another point comes, unveil the real self beyond the roles and possessions. I have to peel back the different layers of our existence. Different layers is the world outside, the physical level, energy level, emotional level, intellectual level, and ultimately the spiritual level. I have to peel all the layers by the knowledge, and we recognize we recognize I should have lived this kind of a life not to be affected by anything outside in my past. Hold on your mind, you said now I'm living, that is much more than desired, more than enough. I'm living now. I have recognized because I gain the mental maturity by living my life, passing through my young age, adulthood, midlife, and reach to that state. Now I'm living in peace. I have discovered this is more important than digging my past. Same, same inquiry, the self-inquiry you wrote, self-inquiry needs to be done. So I have to discern between the false I. False I means my role, my possession, my external validation. Enjoy yourself. I'm very happy that you never complain about your children. You feel that I should live my life independently. That is one of the greatest maturity our mind has. The same with Mio's. So that helps us to keep aside the false side, and the real self starts shining with inner peace, wisdom, unchanging essence. Then I understand and experience the true happiness. True happiness is not tied to wandering mind. The true happiness is not tied to the fleeting external experiences. The true happiness is within me, are my golden years of living in peace and happiness. For the last 1 year, before that you had complaints of anxiety reaction, but now, yesterday you saw that you have a sense of contentment. I have to recognize I should be happy. I have a sense of contentment. Let it continue. I'm rediscovering, unveiling, unveiling. Unveiling that is required, and it should start at young age, but people have lot of their challenges. Now if we go little deeper and wants to inquire why the mind is wandering, even if it goes inside or when it goes outside. One point answer. Master gives a simple answer is the delusion. Delusion means what appears true is not true. Today you go to your album and find out the picture, your youngest picture, and then put them into a progressive in a progression, from childhood to adulthood to young, and etc., etc. The moment you look at them, mind holds a memory. Is it not? Oh, I was wearing this, at this young age. I used to. Mind immediately excited. So I have to maintain that awareness. That's a good exercise. Okay, mind. What is the trigger in your mind? Looking at this picture, looking at this. That is why I destroyed all my young pictures. I said, my childhood is dead. Childhood body is dead now. I cannot retrieve it. Why should I keep it? Oh, she has kept some of them, so let her keep it. But I don't keep it. Even in my computer, I deleted it. I said, who knows, my mind may go back with a beard, with a black color, black beard. No, I said, no, I'm not going there. So this is a good exercise. You look at it and check. Trigger, mind. Oh, your trigger and took me to the past. Hold on. Just look at the picture alone. Minus the trigger. Minus the trigger. Minus the trigger. And if you do it for about a week, your mind will say, now I'm living in the present moment. Are you getting it? Oh, I'm living in the present moment. Acknowledge the tendency to seek fulfillment not through what is in the past, but here and now. These are the golden years of self-discovery. Normally people say, I have become this, now I have lot. No, these are the golden years. Golden years of our journey, getting rid of the delusion. Now what happens once we remove and do the self-inquiry, contemplate and reflect, and then we do the practice, so you will start recognizing the inner stillness, that some presence is there which is totally still, motionless. Not only now, but that presence was also there in the past. It continues to be there in the future. From that stillness manifest the peace and happiness, love and the joy. My master used to give a metaphor that think of a garden. In his monastery there was a beautiful garden. So he says the external weather can change its appearance, but the ground beneath remains steady. Because of the mental immaturity, we keep looking outside. Why? Mind is wandering. Why? Mind is in delusion. Why? Mental immaturity is there. I'm adding a couple of more points so for you to contemplate and summarize. So the path of the lasting joy, just find out the first point is the inner peace as a foundation. I remember my mind, I should take my mind there. Instead of mind is wandering, becoming the master, I tell my mind, can you go to that inner peace? Realize we have to recognize the inner peace as the foundation. Point number 2, meditation practice regularly. Point number 3, observing the thoughts without judgment. I gave an example of different pictures. Your youngest picture when you were 5 years old. Do you have those pictures? No, keep it. Do you have those pictures, Anne? Yeah, you keep it, but just do an exercise, trigger. The moment any trigger comes to the mind, tell tell the mind, this is only a picture, what you are talking about. Why you are getting carried away? This is only a picture. But we get so much excited. Look how beautiful and handsome I was. I was. My, I, when I go to somebody's house and I don't want to name here also, and they bring their album and they start telling me the story. I said, continue to maintain my livelihood, thank you. I will be absorbed with you. I don't say anything at that moment, because if I say at that moment, they will be offended. So the person four, what happens? You see what I told you? Inner peace is a foundation. The mind is hooked to it. You do the practice and you experience. During the day, you are observing the thoughts without judgment. And then what happens? You start living in the present moment. Present moment is the mindfulness state all the time without any practice. That is first point of awakening. And then what happens? The inner sanctuary is now manifesting outside. That is the self-fulfillment. I did not say to my honey 10 years ago, hold on mind, you cannot go back. Stop this nonsense. Communicate with your mind, observing those thoughts without any judgment. So once we follow all these 5 points, the time comes in our life. That is what we say the spiritual life. Simply by saying that I'm a spiritual guy doesn't make any different sense. It has no sense at all, unless I transform myself. So when I live continuously in these 5 points, inner peace as a foundation first, practice regularly as a tool. Third, during the day, observing the thoughts without judgment. Without judgment means I have a mental maturity. I don't want the mind to be my master. Come on, you have to be my servant. You are simply an instrument. Fourth point, the present moment. Then I start living in the present moment. And then we can easily move into the inner sanctuary. We have to create an inner sanctuary of peace that we can access at any time. Once we reach there, then what happens? Now we can locate our real self beyond the physical boundaries. What is that? That is the heart of your awareness. That is the heart of your awareness. Like the radio waves, like we have electromagnetic waves is already present in this room, in your room also. And who catches that? Your smartphone, your phone. Like the radio waves that fill the room. We recognize that my true self is present everywhere. I may not be consciously aware, but that real self is present everywhere. Our mind recognizes that the real self is not confined to a physical location. We realize there is an underlying consciousness that pervades the entire existence. And that is what is called the awakening, connect. And we always feel connected to it beyond the physical boundaries. We already understood Yes, there are other parts that we have already discussed: the discernment, detachment, self inquiry continues. When it continues, it leads to that state of the consciousness, what we say is awakened, knowing the real self, where the mind is wandering. Let us take an example. My mind, if my mind says I have spent my life building a career and a family, how do I now shift my focus inward? Or you have to do nothing outside now. Why you are thinking like this? uh, uh, our kids are independent. Mind, where are you going? You're not feeding them. If I use the wrong word for a right reason, I'm not breastfeeding anyone. Come on, they are independent. Let them live their life. Oh, can I contribute? Yes, whatever I can contribute, I should contribute. Finished. So if you're asking a question, how do I now shift my focus inward? How do you focus inward? You went to the store, bought the vegetable, you return home, you're sitting at your home, and you're asking me how to shift my attention from the store to my home. You're already at home. Don't do that. That is another wandering nature. Now, I will not explain to you. Meditation has become an easy affair for you. How do I know if I'm making a progress? You are already making a progress. Progress is measured by increased inner peace and contentment that you shared your experiences yesterday, a greater sense of connection. Just recognize the subtle shifts in your reactions to life challenges. If you find yourself less reactive, more of the peace, we are already progressing in our life. Then other aspects also comes like compassion that uh, we will talk in detail as we continue our journey.